Joining me is my American Medicine Today radio co-host, Ethan Euchre, as we visited the Clinique of Plastic Surgery in St. Petersburg, Florida.
For the past 25 years, award-winning, board-certified plastic surgeon Dr. Christian Drehsen has helped thousands of patients by perfecting a fusion of art and science in cosmetic surgery.
He surpassed the limitations of the standard facelift procedures and developed an original technique for facial rejuvenation he calls the refresher lift. We're joined by Dr. Christian Drehsen. He is a board-certified plastic surgeon. He's founder and director of the Clinique of Plastic Surgery here in St. Petersburg. And you have what's called a refresher lift. Why don't you explain to everyone watching what that is?
Well, you know, for the past 10 years, I work at developing a refresher lift, which is pretty much a variation of what we call a vertical lift. And why would you do a vertical lift? Because it's to avoid the typical facelift look, and you've seen that in Hollywood actor, famous people on either side of on either coast of U.S. and
there's a lot of bad plastic surgery.
A lot of bad, well,
that's for sure.
The concept of a lot of these facelifts is to pull the facial feature backward. Right. And unfortunately, they do that and also displays the hairline backwards. So you end up with this very strange looking creature that they have basically a receding hairline, temple hair move way back, and the face looks taut. Right. You know, looking taut doesn't mean you're looking young. So I look at a different concept. It's really trying to introduce the expression as a way of improving your feature. So my first goal is to try to improve people's expression. Somebody look angry, look sad, look weak, and by definition also look old. I'd like to change this by improving what we call the vector in the face. Vector in the face, when people, everything that's going down, you know, all the vectors are going downward. And I try to do this by correcting all the vectors, moving everything back up.
How much of that is gravity, though? You know, because that's how people get the jowls and
there is gravity. There is gravity. There is also genetics. We all age differently, and this age, obviously, and but a common factor is that for most people, when they go like this with their face, they say, well, that's what I want. I look young. I don't look abnormal. I don't look like I've been pulled this way. Therefore, this motion of your finger basically lifts the cheeks kind of vertically, and so therefore the name of vertical facelift. So I refined this facelift to find a way to do this in a safe way, in a natural way. And so what I usually do is add not only the vertical lift, but also maintain the hairline by some special incision technique. At the same time, also add fat in a number of areas to restore like the fullness in people who have sunken cheek, flat eyebrows, and so on. Go back to something that look a lot more youthful, because it's plumper, it's more, it improves the skin texture and so on. I combine the refresher lift very often with another technique that I've developed, which is called a dual plane brow lift, which means it is lifting the brow, because most people, the fact that their face is sagging is also very often connected to a brow that is sagging as well. And I really never really liked the idea that every time your brow sags, the next thing you do is to find somebody to cut your eyelid. And a lot of the things you see in Hollywood is these people who actually have a saggy brow. Not only they have a saggy brow that's never been corrected, but they have the eyelid removed. So now you have this very round eye that has no expression anymore, no beauty anymore. And pretty much that's the base of the technique I've developed.
I think a lot of the problem with facelifts too is that people try to look too young. Yes. You know, if they're 80, they want to look 40.
Yeah, well, and you don't arrive at looking younger by pulling on the skin. You look like might look like a scarecrow, you look like you're being in a wind tunnel. I mean, there's a lot of bizarre looking rejuvenation technique that really don't rejuvenate, they make you look odd, that's it. So if you look at the picture that I have on my website, you could see that a number of these people look fresher. Everybody knows they are not 30-year-old, but they look good, they look dynamic. So I'm much more interested in making somebody look dynamic that looking artificially young because it doesn't fit anyone.
Correct. Well, especially in this day and age with the economy the way it is, people not being able to afford to retire early, they're in the workforce longer. So something like your refresher lift really does bring them to that next level to make them look more energized and, well, more youthful. Let's face it, some of the before and after pictures, they actually look like they could be their own children.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the fact is pretty well known. I mean, if you look at the television industry, you hardly see anybody old anymore. You certainly don't see anybody who look tired or sad or depressed. You know, so all these people have strangely disappeared from the screen. In politics, the same thing. You cannot have somebody who look angry. You cannot have somebody who look depressed. You want somebody who look fit, who look dynamic, and so on. So it's all over the country. You know, people who are, women who are real estate agent and so on, they want to look dynamic. They want to look attractive. They want to look with it, you know. So, and as you age, it's a very important factor because people get judged by their feature, unfortunately.
Correct. What sets your refresher lift different than, say, something I see on TV called lifestyle lift? What is the difference?
Well, lifestyle lift is a form of a mini lift, basically. It's a one-direction pull. Basically, you take something in the lower part of the cheek, you get some improvement. Yeah, it's better than before. To call it a real improvement is a far-fetched step, you know, because a lot of these people, in fact, they have a refresher lift. They have a lifestyle lift at the same time. They have a neck lift, they have eyelid lift, they have everything else on the side. So the lifestyle lift is pretty much a limited lift that affects maybe the lower third of the face. When we talk about the cheek lift combined with it and the neck lift combined with it, then you're pretty much close to what I call a refresher lift.
And what's sort of the time frame on if someone wanted to get a refresher lift? How long does the process take? How long is the healing before they're back to normal?
Now we come to the time frame of the recovery of the procedure, if that's what you're asking me. It takes between 1 and 2 weeks to be, you know, pretty much socially acceptable. You know, obviously over the next few weeks you will improve, and usually after 4 to 5 weeks people look fine. I mean, they look really nice.